Big surprise that class before us was cleared out. The mission objective is to track down the mystery at the center of Bad Dream Town. However, assuming everybody gets terrified, then, at that point, it's difficult to clear even this. The elderly person makes sense of for everybody that there's compelling reason need to get excessively stressed, since they're all here. He says they should settle in. Subsequent to hearing the elderly person's words, Math said, "I get it, elderly person, you believe we should unwind and confront the bad guy unhesitatingly." The elderly person, with a frightening face, says, "No, I implied since you are here, acknowledge that you will kick the bucket here." Everybody was stunned, pondering what did this elderly person just say. The elderly person then, at that point, grinned and said, "All right, I'll quit playing with everybody." He presented himself as the town head of Bad Dream Town. Wogan let understudies know that there are 2 prerequisites for residing in Bad Dream Town. 1. They can reside in any of the vacant houses, yet they mightn't for any reason at any point contact the dark stones on the entryway. 2. They should get back to the house before dull and close the windows and entryways. They can't open them regardless of what. Leon, who is truly inquisitive, asks the town head for what valid reason they can't emerge into the evening. The town head, who is truly dubious, tells him that he'll see once the night comes. After that, around evening time, everybody chose to pay attention to what the town had said and track down a house to conceal in. First, they partitioned into 4 gatherings with 11 understudies in each gathering. Leon tracked down a reasonable house with his gathering, and as they got inside, they shut the entryway firmly. When they went into the house, the white-haired young lady let everybody know that for security, they ought to lay on the 2nd floor this evening. While Leon was standing, a red-haired young lady moved toward him and said, "Leon, assuming there's any risk later, make sure to safeguard me." The young lady attempted to entice Leon with her charm, saying, "I'm a healer. I can provide you with a ton of HP." The white-haired young lady, seeing this, came to the red-haired young lady and said, "Jozu, how might you be so bold? Mightn't you at any point see there are such countless colleagues watching?" Zhu told her that since she, at the end of the day, is good with it, how could it be any of her concern? The white-haired young lady answered, "Do you think seeming to be a cow is something to be pleased with?" She was contrasting Z's chest with a cow's. Z lashed out and provoked her, saying, "Anything superior to having nothing at all." The white-haired young lady blew up and yelled, "This is on the grounds that you are fat, you cow." While the 2 young ladies were battling, one of the understudies went to the window. When he looked external, he saw something and began crying, saying, "Granny, I miss you." An old woman was on the opposite side of the window, saying, "My great-grandkid, Granny's freezing. This spot is frightening. Will you open the window to allow Granny to embrace you?" That understudy, accepting she is his granny, opened the window for her. When Leon saw him opening the window, he ran towards the window, yelling, "That is not your granny." But it was at that point past the point of no return. He had previously opened the window, and that old woman unexpectedly began going after that understudy. The understudy was too stunned seeing his granny assault him like that. Everybody was excessively reluctant to help him, yet out of nowhere somebody utilized their staff to project the sand-restricting sorcery. A sand wave prevented that old woman from going after that kid. It was Leon's dearest companion, young Roman 11, who utilized that enchanted. He requested that that understudy come quickly, in light of the fact that he was unable to hold it for long. When that understudy comprehended what was occurring, he ran towards young Roman 11. Unexpectedly, the old woman changed into a red beast, a typical beast considered bad dream. It's a level 3 beast with 50 well-being and 25 strength. Everybody got truly stunned in the wake of seeing it. A young lady addressed, "How is this bad dream just an ordinary beast? Are even little beasts this distorted in a novice's S-positioned world?" Since Yangi halted him before the beast began going after him, frightened Yangi said, "Beast, don't come here. On the off chance that you eat such greasy meat, you will get the 3 highs." But before the beast could go after him, a safeguard showed up and halted him. It was the white-haired young lady who halted his assault with her safeguard expertise. Anyway, on the grounds that she was utilizing her enchanted safeguard, she was depleting her well-being ceaselessly. She told Yangi to take off from that point and asked Zhu to mend her. Then she told Leon to call the undead to limit this horrible beast. The 2 of them concurred with the white-haired young lady. Z began projecting her mending sorcery and gave the buff to the white-haired young lady. She began recuperating her well-being. The white-haired young lady was thinking, the length of everybody cooperates. Managing this bad dream ought not be troublesome. She thought now she simply needs to slow down until Leon can gather his undead. Yet, unexpectedly, she saw Leon, who is running towards the horrible beast. He will go after him with his staff. Seeing this, youthful W yelled, "Sister Leon, that is not the way in which you utilize a staff." He cautioned Leon that assuming the bad dream draws near to him, he'll bite the dust. Anyway, Leon didn't focus on him and utilized his staff to go after the horrible beast. The beast lost all his 50 well-being when he got hit and kicked the bucket with one hit. Leon killed the horrible beast. Everybody was paralyzed, asking how was this potential. They were truly shocked, asking how could a bad dream with 50 well-being be killed in a moment like that. Subsequent to killing that beast, Leon requested that everybody take a gander at this. The horrible that was killed turned into a dark stone and began dispersing. The white-haired young lady said the image on this thing is indistinguishable from the one on the door jamb. Zhu expressed that since they're both of Bad Dream Town, so that ought not be odd. Yet, Leon felt that something is off base, saying, "Is there a bug?" For what reason didn't he get any detail focuses in spite of killing a bad dream with a scuffle assault? The white-haired young lady inquired as to whether he saw something. Leon answered that nothing. He may be overthinking. The following day, every one of the understudies emerged from their rooms. The gathering that were with Leon were expressing gratitude toward Zhu and Leon for the previous evening, saying that, supposing that they didn't overcome the horrible beast, they would be generally dead. When Math emerged from his room, he heard Leon's gathering talking, saying they didn't turn out badly with adhering near Leon, as he has areas of strength for really he managed that bad dream in a brief moment. Another kid added that Zhu is really noteworthy too, as she utilized her safeguard to straightforwardly stop the horrible's assault. Math was paying attention to their discussion and thought, assuming I were there, I certainly could never have allowed a young lady to like Zhu tank the harm. Taking cover behind a young lady isn't something a masculine man would do. Math took out his blades and swung them, saying he'll overcome bad dreams with a solitary strike. At the point when Leon emerged from the house and saw Math, he praised him, saying, "Class screen, you're doing early daytime preparing this early. How diligent of you." Young Ifk added that this is required from the class screen, and it's simply this piece of exertion that has caused him to outperform on many individuals. Now, after seeing them, Math halted and let them know that he was rehearsing briefly. At the point when Math saw the white-haired young lady, Zhu, he requested that she stay in a house with him this evening, since he definitely won't allow her take any harm. Zhu answered that her job is a tank. If she doesn't tank, it is Math going to be the one to do it. Math told her that he can confront a bad dream on his own legitimacy. He needn't bother with her to act. Zhu got irritated and let Math know that this sort of reasoning isn't correct. Their instructor previously said that they need to cooperate. He can't simply do things himself. He ought to gain from Leon. Abruptly, Leon heard a few voices. It was the town head, who accompanied his kindred residents, requesting that they kill every one of the understudies. He requested his locals not to allow even one understudy to get away from, tie everybody onto a pea, and let the flames consume with extreme heat their wrongdoings. He likewise cautioned them to kill any individual who opposes. Math approached, asking the town head what's occurred, saying there must be some misjudging. The town head answered, "There is no misconception at all." He asked the understudies, "Aren't they extremely clear on that great deed they've done the previous evening?" Leon saw that there's around a similar number of town individuals as there are in his group, and their ages don't appear to be that changed either. But before Leon said something, Math asked the town head on the off chance that he implied they killed a horrible last evening. The town head hushed Math, saying those bad dreams are the defender spirits of Bad Dream Town. He accused understudies, saying they probably defied the guidelines of Bad Dream Town the previous evening, so the defender spirits attempted to rebuff them. He added that clearly the defender spirits will be enraged, and the residents will wind up enduring close by them, so understudies ought to bite the dust 1,000 passings for their wrongdoing. Math asked the town head, assuming that there is a method for saving a defender's soul on the off chance that they've coincidentally killed it. The town head answered that there is an answer, on the off chance that the individual who's maddened the defender spirits should stay outside the house when sun sets. The town head asked who among them has this sort of boldness. Math was extremely